what's up everybody? Tyler from TenthumbsPro.com coming at you with another ukulele tutorial like we do every single Wednesday and Saturday. Today we're going to learn how to play the Super Mario Brothers theme, the main theme that you play in the overworld. Pretty comprehensive, lots of double stops, a really cool melody. Excited to teach you this one. You can get some printable tabs by becoming a Patreon, accelerating your learning, making it easier to follow along, and then you can take it and practice in the park, etc. That includes this lesson and our lessons by becoming a Patreon. You'll see my email in the description as well if you're interested in maybe some one-on-one lessons via Skype or Zoom. Hit subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a lesson. And why don't we go ahead and grab our ukulele, brain, attention span, follow me on in, and let's learn this classic lesson. Come on in, let's do it. All right, so let's just jump into it and bring the first four measures up. We're gonna kick this off by barring the 5th fret, getting your middle finger on the 6th fret of the C string, and your ring finger on the 7th fret of the A. This would be like a D9 shape. And what you're going to do is you're going to play 6th fret of the C string, 7th fret of the E string at the same time, squeezing them 2 times, rest, and then a 3rd time. Come up, thumb, grab the G string, then back down. And then you're going to come up and play this G chord, which is barring the 7th fret, with your ring finger on the 10th fret. Open G string followed right after that. Make a C, strum all the way through. Then get down, grab the 3rd fret of the E string and the open C, and then the open E. Then you'll pinch the open C, open A. Same 2 strings, 2nd fret, using my middle finger on the C string, ring finger on the A. Down to the 1st fret, then open, open. So those first 4 measures we get. We're going to play O3, open C string, 3rd fret of the E string with your ring finger. You're going to come way up here. On the way up, you're going to use your middle finger on the C string, ring finger on the A, and do 7-7. Then you'll remove your ring finger, roll it over, middle finger stays on the C string to play the 11th fret, while your index finger plays the 10th fret. You'll go back to this shape here, which is middle finger, ring finger on the 12th fret of the C and the A string. Back to this shape, which is your index finger on the A, middle on the C string, and you play 8 and 7, and then back up to 11 and 10. So that one measure you get. After that, you're going to go back down here. Grab the 5th fret of the A string with your index finger, 7th fret of the E string, and then the 7th fret of the A with your ring finger. I'm using these 2 fingers to pluck that. Then I grab 3rd fret, 4th fret, again this shape with your middle finger on the C and your pointer on the A. Roll over to this double stop, 5 and 5, and then come down and grab 2 and 2. So you get. Alright, so those 2 measures and then we start over with something we've already seen. Okay, so those 4 measures are in the book. We bring up the next 4. Sorry about that, there was a little issue with the audio. The mics are fixed now, so the audio should sound a little better. Okay, so the next 4 measures, again, we're seeing something we've already seen for the first 2. And then we are introducing a new concept that sounds like this. So you're going to get your index finger on the 10th fret of the A string and your ring finger on the 12. You'd go 10 and 12, 9 and 11, 8 and 10, and then, which will be 6th fret of the A string, 7th fret of the E, and you're using your index and your middle finger, then each of those will go up one string to play 7 and 8. All right, and then from there, this is a really cool measure that goes, and you're going to play 4 and 4 of the 2 middle strings, and I'm using my middle finger to bar both of them, because then I use my index finger to get 5 and 5 of the same 2 strings, and then 3 and 3 of the E and the A string. I'll remove them both and play open E, open A, middle finger on the A, thumb on the C, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to grab the sorry, I'm having a little brain fart. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to grab the whole C chord, strum through it, and then 5 and 5 of the C and the A. So that measure right there, which is the 4th in this line, really, really cool. Let's play that one more time. All right, we're going to see that again, so don't worry. The next measures come up, and we have this little, we start off, kick it off with the same that we just saw. And then immediately after that, we're going to see something new that goes, you're going to go way up here, and you're going to grab the 15th fret of the A string and the 17th fret of the E. If you don't have these, you can play the 3rd fret of the A and the 5th fret of the E. It's the same thing, but we're just up an octave up here. You're going to play that, and then the same 2 fingers, we're going to drop down a string from A and E to E and C, but the same frets, and you do the same here, right? Once you drop down though, you're going to play it 2 times. So you would get, and then we're going to do that little run that we've seen again. This again. And then we're going to introduce a new concept that goes 8th fret of the G and the C strings, 5th fret of the C and the A, and I'm just barring it this time using my thumb and index finger here. And then I'm strumming the C chord. All right, and then that piece kicks, then you see that we're going to kick off with that familiar piece again. Bring up the next 4 measures, and we're right back in this piece. Oops. That's way up there. That's the hardest part of the song almost. Then right back into this piece. And then right back into, all right. So why don't we play just that little that little loop, so you can get a vibe for what that sounds like before we finish this. All right. So we're almost done with part A. So just that piece from, we're gonna kick it off from this. We're gonna kick it off with these 4 measures. We're gonna kick it off from the 3rd measure of these. So here we go. So we have the second 2 measures here that we have to learn from this piece, and you get, what do you get? Playing the 8th fret of the E and the C strings. Up here, 3 and 4, which comes from like this E minor shape, just the first half, 3rd fret of the A, 4th fret of the E, and then up 2 frets to 5 and 6. So you get double 8. Okay, and then you're going to play 7 and 7 on the C and the A string. Then you're going to come down to 3rd fret and 4th fret. Now this song's in the key of C, and those two notes come from a C chord. And when you play 7-7, those also come from a C chord. So we're seeing little C chords all over. Right? And after you do that, you're then going to play the open E string and the open A. Then get your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the E and play the open C and the 3rd fret of the E. So just those two measures. Okay, and then we bring up the next 4, and we're going to see this repeats itself here like, but then we're going to go up to 10. Well, we're going to go 8, 10. So we get, and then we make this G shape you're familiar with, but way up here, 7, 8, 7, and strum all the way through. So you get really cool. And then you let that thing ring out for a whole measure. And then it starts over to the and then boom. And then you're in part B. Very good. So why don't we go ahead and play through all of part A together? Part A from the top, nice and slow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Part A. Let's learn part B. Okay, so great job making it through part A. We're into part B. And part B kicks off kind of with this repetition of A. We'll almost call this like a transition phase. And so the first 10 measures of this transition phase are going to be familiar. So why don't we just go ahead and play through it. The first 4 we put up, we get 1, 2, 3, 4. Familiar. Okay, so we played those 6 bars, nothing new, and then it starts over again. Bring these next 4 up. Play the first 2. Familiar. And then we jump into this bar here. That's new. So you're going to make this A minor shape here, which is 7th fret of the A, 8th fret of the C, 9th fret of the, 8th fret of the E, 9th fret of the C. And you're going to pluck the E and the A strings, and I'm using these 2 fingers, because right after I use these 2 fingers to pluck the C and the E. Remove them both, and then using these 2 fingers, I pluck the open G and the open E strings. So I get. Then I get down and grab 4 and 4 with my index finger. Then after playing 4 and 4, we are going to go ahead and move up to 5 and 5. Same C and E strings, using these two fingers, pluck C and E. Then my ring finger is going to go out and grab 8 and 8 of the E and the A. Then I play the same two notes again, and then back to 5 and 5 of the C and the E. So those two measures we get. All right, bring up the next 4 measures, and we're going to start off 2 and 3 down here from a G chord, 2 and 3. We're going to play them. We're going to go up here and grab 12 on the A, 13 on the E. We're going to play that double stop a total of 3 times in a row. So you get. Then we're going to play 10 here. I'm sweating. Oh my goodness, it's really hot in here. 10 on the A and 12 on the E string. And then move that down 2 frets apiece to the 8th fret of the A and the 10th fret. And then back to 7 and 8, where we make this A minor shape because we're going to start over. So that measure you get. And then we're here. But we don't play 4-4. This time we go down and play 1 and 0, coming from an F chord, 1 and 0, and then the open E and the open G again. So that second measure of these 4, you get. All right, then you go right back up to this, and then open G, open E, and then into the, which is familiar. So that second time through you get. So we play all 4 of those measures together, you get. All right, let's bring up the next 4. Okay, so the next 4, you're going to see that 3 and 4 are familiar, 1 and 2 are not. We're going to start off this familiar 2-3 shape. Then up to 8 and 10, also familiar. So we get. So this is familiar, but not exactly the same. And then we're going to play it 2 more times. 7-8, 5-7. And this 5-7 is new. We played 7-5 earlier, but this 5-7 is new. 5th fret of the 5th fret of the A string, 7th fret of the E string. So that measure you get. Then you'll slide your ring finger up a half step to the 8th fret of the E, and you play 8th fret and the open G string, 8th fret with your index finger, open G with your thumb. Then right on it 1 and to an open E again, and then the open C. So you get. And the next 2 measures we've seen. So those 4 measures together, you get. All right. And then we put up the next 4, and these we've already seen. These are the same as the previous 4. You get. All right, so we bring up these 4, and this time the first 2 are familiar, but the second 2 are unfamiliar. So you play the first 2, you get. Then we get something that looks a little familiar, but we're going to mix it up. We get. All right, so that's familiar. 8 and 8, you do it 3 times. 1 and 2 and. 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so we've seen that before, but then we're going to go up here and we're going to play the 7th fret of the A string and the 7th fret of the C. And then from there, you're going to roll over into this shape, which is 3 and 4. All right, so you get boom, boom, and then we get the open E and the A, and then we get the open C string against the 3rd fret. So we've seen this measure as well too. So that second half you get I like that part. So we put those two together because we haven't seen these two pieces together. You get So we're getting closer to the end of this tune. The next piece is something familiar. Actually, let that ring. 8, 8, 8, 8, 10, C chord. 8, 8, 8, bam, 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 bam. So we've seen those 4 measures. Then we get to the end of this. We're going to see some things that we've seen. We just haven't seen them together yet. We're going to see the again, but it's followed by the. All right, so those are all 4 measures that we've seen. We just haven't seen them in this order. Then we bring up the. Let's play through those 4 together. Okay, so we bring up these 4 measures, and we've seen these 4, just not necessarily in this particular order. So we play them nice and slow. We get. Okay, so the last 2 measures of the song, we've seen these as well. We just go 2 and 3, up to 8 and 10. 8 and 10 2 more times. 7, 8. 5, 7. Push that ring finger up to 8. 8 with the open G, open E, open E, open C. So the last 2 measures. Yeah, I told you it was going to be rough, but there it was. You have the tabs. Rock it out. Enjoy it, and thank you for following along. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for Cool, everybody. Thank you so much for watching to the very end. If you made it here, congratulations. It's a pretty tricky one to kind of like commit it to memory. There's a lot going on, but it's a rewarding song. So thank you so much for watching to the very end, and we'll catch you next Wednesday or Saturday for our next lesson. Again, think about becoming a Patreon. It will accelerate your learning. It starts at just $1 creation, caps as low as $1 a month. And until next time, keep on rocking and rolling. Keep on loving life. I am going to go out of this incredibly hot studio and go enjoy a nice, cold, refreshing glass of water. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, posso avere un ukulele per favore? Grazie mille, grazie mille. Arrivederci. Take care, everybody.